Hey, what's going on, guys? That dude Sirraj. How you hanging? What we're gonna do right now, we're gonna take a little look underneath the hood of the Marlin XT17 VR, which is the heavy barrel version, which shouldn't be too much different at all from the XT17, the non-heavy barrel versions. I know they got a couple different ones. Main reason why I'm doing this, I wanted to adjust the trigger pull. It has a very nice trigger. Very comparable to the Savage Accu trigger. They call it the Pro trigger. That's the Marlin designation. But I wanted to lighten it down and see just how nice and smooth of a trigger it could be. Now I actually already adjusted it. I wanted to kind of go in and feel around and see what was there. It wasn't a whole lot. It's not that complicated, but I took note to a couple things in terms of build and marks and workmanship. That I wanted to make a note of. First thing I do want to point out, in order to get into the action, you have to take out 1 and 2 Allen bolts. Now the thing is, I have a nice, little set here, Cobalt. I got the metric and I got the standard, and none of those actually fit those Allen bolts. So I had to go back through older Allen collection. I found this one. I don't know exactly what it is, but if I'm gonna take a guess, I'm gonna probably say it's a 3.5 because it was bigger than the 3, but smaller than the 4. So I would say if you can find a 3.5 millimeter Allen wrench, you'll be good to go. And of course, they did not include that, being it was a kind of off size. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and take this off here. I might flip around to the other side. I don't really want to knock the camera. And of course I did tighten this down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alright, now the first bolt is a short bolt, and you'll see why in a minute. It's a shorter stubby bolt. And the next one here is a longer, thinner bolt. You see, that's a little bit longer bolt, a little bit thinner. You can kind of compare the two. Sit those to the side over here. Okay. Now, to get this guy out here, pretty much what happens, because you do have this the mag retainer, that little clip. So you kind of need to go front end first and then back end, and that sits to the side. Now here's the inside of the stock. You can see this little plate here is screwed. This little plate here is screwed directly to the stock. You can see the contour of the beaver tail there on the fore end. So not a whole lot. I mean, it's a decent stock for for a rimfire, for the price of the overall rifle, which I said before was about $257 out the door. Okay, so now as you can see here, looking at the underside, a couple things I can point out. The ejection happens from that little pin in there that kind of runs down the rail. So as you close the bolt, when you go to release it, you fling it back, and the bottom of that casing catches that little rod, that little bent rod that's in there, and that bent rod comes up and is actually secured to this larger bolt right here. So, and this little thick piece, that's what the magazine actually slides. That little groove that's in the magazine, it slides over that, and then this kind of clicks into place. Okay, so looking at the trigger, I guess it's fairly simple. I don't have a lot of triggers that are like these. Let's go ahead and close this back. Now, one thing I do want to mention, I don't know, you might have seen it kind of floating around in the camera, which I'm not too happy about in terms of build. In the barrel, you got these 2 notches. You got 1 and you got 2. And this is actually what that first bolt, that thick bolt, this is what he screws into and secures. So actually what's happening, this is just kind of drifted into place, and then it's putting, oops, wrong one, it's putting that downward pressure onto the barrel. And I'm not sure if this goes just one way or the other. It didn't seem like it did. Yeah, and that just puts downward pressure on the barrel to keep it in place, which could affect accuracy. Now granted, this is a heavy barrel, so it's pretty stiff, and it is pretty close to where it is actually attached to the action itself, which is just a single pin that's there. But I don't know if I really like that. And if you take a little bit closer look, hopefully the camera focuses well enough, it's just not really carved or cut out or machined out all that, you know, all that pretty and even, and doesn't have a great finish on it. It's a little bit uneven, got a kind of a little mix on that side. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's kind of C- work. Not really. I'm gonna sit this to the side also. Not too thrilled about that. Now the trigger, as I said, I already adjusted it down, and pretty much what you need to have, make sure I'm still in the camera, what you need to have is a 3/8 inch wrench, and make sure you got a good one. I think this one is kind of cheap actually. It had a little bit of wobble, but you just need to loosen up. You just need to loosen up this nut here, which is pretty loose. Not pretty loose, but it doesn't take much effort to loosen it. And then make sure you crank it back down. Not over tighten it, but make sure it's tight enough that it doesn't jiggle free. And then you'll need a, this is a 3/32 inch Allen screw, which goes right into here. Okay, and then you would go counterclockwise, which will cause the screw to come out. So it should get longer, and that's going to make your trigger pull lighter. And I went around, I think 2.5 rotations, and considerable difference. It feels really good now. The brakes, it might be too light by some standards. I don't know. I don't have anything to really gauge it. But it's light. It's nice. Let's make sure we don't get any debris in here. And I'm gonna wipe this down with some of my gun slick wipes actually, just to get a nice coat of oil in here for when it's not being in use. But that's pretty much it as far as I'm concerned. The safety, that just kind of rocks there. But outside of that, I mean, it's just, this guy is I mean, it's light. I would say if it's not below 2 pounds, it's not above 2 pounds. It's probably less than that actually. I would probably say it's more like 1 pound. that really didn't take much at all to get that to break. So that's about it. So now I don't know if there's many reviews out there in terms of adjusting the trigger pull on a Marlin XT17, or even I'm pretty sure the XT22 is the same way. And you can see that the trigger assembly is just Allen screw down into the action. And this is the place where that longer single rear screw went. That actually is directly into the action. And that's pretty much it. So that's the inner workings of the Marlin XT17. We're gonna go ahead and reassemble here, and cause I got a little bit of shooting to do. Got a little bit of shooting to do. Let's get that drifted up in there. Yes. And from there. Oh, actually, we were gonna wipe this guy down real quick. Yeah, I could stop the camera, but I'm not going to. Let's see. Take my gloves off, actually. I know you hear me sniffling. It is a cool day out here. It is a cool day. I don't know if anybody uses these. I know I've probably mentioned them in other videos, but Ultra Lube gun wipes made by Gunslick. I really like these. They're pre-moistened wipes. You know, it doesn't leave a whole lot of oil, but it is good for quick cleanup. Oh, look at that. See, that's another little spot that didn't really have a finished finished edge, it was kind of sharp and it caught the wipe. I don't want to leave that material in there. Not that it'll hurt anything, but yeah, see, that's yeah. I don't want to say you get what you pay for, because in my opinion, for you know, well under 300 bucks, this is still a very, very good rifle. You know, and being that it is a rim fire, it's not, you know, not really super high, you know, power or anything, not a lot of recoil. There really shouldn't be too much tension and stress in too many areas. So I'm still not knocking Marlin at all for this this rifle build. So just gonna get all down in there. It's a nice coat under there. Not like I'm gonna be pulling this guy off that much, so what I can't reach, you know, I know it has a nice good little coat and kind of battle any type of moisture and things like that that may serve to be a minor problem at any point. Like to make sure I got the barrel all nice and all right, so I think that's good enough. And once again, put in the back, we're gonna go rear. Can you see me? Okay, we're gonna go rear end first. Get that up. Where are we at? There we go. Get that trigger to drop, and then go ahead and get that where'd my little pin go? Oh, there we go. Make sure we got a little bit of oil on you too. So you're gonna be sliding in and out of there. Okay, there we go. Let's rear first. Should line him up. Make sure he's down. All right. Touchdown. So who watched the game last night, man? Baltimore seemed to pull it out. I'm a cheesehead, you know. I'm a Green Bay guy, so I really wasn't too invested in the game, but you know, I went to a Super Bowl. All right, sorry about that, guys. Camera died. I'm sorry, camera didn't die. I just ran out of space. Had to knock out an extra video. But you didn't miss anything. I was just finishing screwing in that Allen bolt there. But outside of that, man, this trigger feels awesome. Like I said, it's a very easy. You just think about it and bam, it breaks. So hopefully I can really turn out some good groups with that. So overall, I think that in combination with this Simmons scope, it's the 44 mag model 4-12. I think it's a good combination. Nice heavy barrel. You know, the 17 HMR is a very good development, I think, in the rimfire class. So that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving. Hopefully I got some other firearms and some other things that I wanted to review. Got a couple buddies that wanted me to take a look at some of their equipment and bring it out to the range and give a little review. So yeah, hopefully I got a couple things coming down the pipeline. So all in all, everybody out there that's been supporting the channel, you know, I'm growing slowly. If you got suggestions or recommendations, I'm all ears. But outside of that, thanks everybody for your support and for your comment, for your feedbacks. You know, whether it's good or bad, doesn't matter. I take it all. So that's it. Outside of that, you guys be safe. Happy shooting, and I will see y'all in the next video. ThatDudeSirraj. Peace.